My name is Dr. Julia Glade-Bender, and I'm a pediatric oncologist. And I'm very happy to be the 2018 Hyundai Quantum Collaboration Award winner. I actually like kids better than I like most adults. Maybe it's something about being only 4'11". I'm not intimidated by them and they're not intimidated by me, and I find it very easy to talk to kids. I think what was a surprise to me was how easy I found it to talk to kids about really tough stuff. I like to go big, I like to go bold, and I don't think there's anything bigger or bolder than giving a child back their life. There's so much promise in every child, and we want to give every single one of them a chance to grow up and become whoever it is they were destined to be. It's why I get up in the morning. It's a passion because I get to think about things I find incredibly interesting, and still, at the end of that, is a child whom I'm aiming to cure. I was awarded the first Hyundai collaboration grant to study osteosarcoma, which is a disease that has frustrated me in the clinic for so many years. I run a program where we try new drugs in patients for whom there are no standard therapies that will cure them anymore. Osteosarcoma is one of the tumors that happens in adolescents and young adults. It's a bone sarcoma, often happens around the knee or in the extremities, oftentimes around the growth spurt of adolescence. We really only have 3 drugs that we are using to treat osteosarcoma. They're the same 3 drugs that we used 40 years ago, and we haven't made any progress. It can be incredibly debilitating because if it's localized, at the very least, we're looking at a very big surgery that may impair function. At its worst, it spreads to the lungs, and that is potentially fatal. Overall, we cure 80% of pediatric cancer. Osteosarcoma is one of the tough ones. If it stayed put, chances are with the chemotherapy that we know, you can have about a 70% chance of cure. It's the 30% for whom we have nothing else. If you fail the first therapy, we really don't have a go-to second therapy. So I think in osteosarcoma, we've hit our limit with chemotherapy. We need to find something new, something out of the box, something that's somehow targeting whatever makes that tumor tick. Generally speaking, advances in pediatric cancer have come through a series of well-thought-out clinical trials. Our project is going to look at osteosarcomas at a different level. We're going to go to the level after the chromosomes, the proteins, if you will, and the message that makes the proteins. And we're going to try to figure out what logic those proteins are working by to make this tumor so difficult to treat. I think what's so amazing about the Collaboration Award is it allowed me to bring in people that I might not otherwise work with. The most innovative ideas come from knowing what you know and knowing what you don't know, and then making sure that you get people with different areas of expertise in the room together to start thinking about how to solve a tough problem. So Dr. Califano has these enormous computers that can store so much data, and all the data that's out there on cancers from those big NIH-sponsored data banks are in there, helping us figure out the logic of cancer cells. But you know what? There are no osteosarcomas in there. So we need to fill that computer with specific data about osteosarcomas. Most people think of research as scientists at the bench, pipetting things into petri dishes and tubes. And then there's clinical research, and sometimes that's really just looking back on databases and sort of crunching the numbers and figuring out what happened. I try to do the stuff that's in between. What I really want to know is what's in the lab that looks promising, what's curing the mice, what looks like the next important thing, potentially good in pediatric cancer, and then I want to get that into the child. But I also want to see what the drug is doing to the child's tumor. We want to make sure when we design these clinical trials for children with cancer that has not responded to other therapies, that we are learning as much as possible from every single child. I think there's tremendous hope on the horizon. When I was born back in the 60s, You know, cancer was uniformly fatal, and now we're curing 80% of children with cancer. That's pretty amazing. You know, we're focusing on this 20% now, and we're digging deeper and deeper into the tumor biology, and there are answers there, and we're gonna find them, and we won't stop until we hit 100%. My name is Dr. Julia Glade Bender, and my handprint tells my story.